welcome back. It's DJ Evidence coming back again with some more tricks and tips for you on the MPC500. This time I'm going to go for the splashy snare. I call it the splashy snare. And this is basically came from, inspired by Inspector Moore's actually, because he's doing a lot of old school boo bap, and I wasn't doing a lot of reverb on my snares. I used to back in the day, but I haven't done for a while, so I thought I'd go back to it and re-explore it all over again. And I've come up with some new things on the MPC that I messed around with yet again, just came up with my own little ways of making it work, because the reverb, I wasn't really feeling it on the 500 at first, but then I made it work for me and I found a nice little trick away around it. Right at the moment, got a kick, hi-hat already laid down. Just going to lay the snare, just chose one snare. You can choose 2 different snares, 3 different, whatever, but I'm going to show you with one snare at first. I'm just going to see and go with the flow and see how I do it this time round. So, here we go. It's 4 bars of that, okay? So I'm simply just going to lay down the snare for now. So that's our loop for right now. So what I'm going to do is take that snare and put that same snare, upload it to a different button. Okay, so there we got it again. Okay, now what I tend to do, go to the filter and I put it all the way up to high pass. We're also going to put this into note on. Yet again, as I always say, one shot is when you hit the button once and it plays the whole thing, or you have to keep your finger down on it. Yeah, like that. So it's kind of sounding like that at the moment. It's almost sounding like a hi-hat. Oh, there's a good another little trick in there for you. Use that. So yeah, I'm going to put that into note on. So I just got that little snippet sound right there. Okay. Now I'm just going to lay this directly on the top, totally quantized, in timing. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it ain't sounding no different. That's because there's no sound there. I've just hit it lightly. I haven't kept my finger down on it. I'm hitting the button real lightly, so I just get it. But it will make sense in a moment. Right, now I'm going to go into the reverb. That second snare that we just manipulated, I'm going to put that into effects 2. And then I'm going to send that off to the reverb in effects 2. So we now got this little sound here. But at the moment I hit it just like that on top of the snare. So still quite not there yet. So listen to what it sounds like now. So you got a nice little reverb sound there where I hit it ever so lightly. It's actually come out quite nice. I've never had it come out nice like that. But this is where the trick really comes in. I'm going to start pushing the attack on the envelope for the second snare, because remember we put it on note on. Yet again, that will force it to play. But if I put enough attack on it, it'll actually miss the beginning of the sound. Therefore, the 2 snares won't get in the way of each other, but it'll actually give it after the sound. And what we're doing is manipulating the second snare to shape the reverb, because the reverb's quite hard to manipulate. So I just cross it over with filters and attacks, and you'll see in a minute. Each digit will really make a difference on this. So I'm going to gradually go up in the attack as I play the loop. Now at the moment it's getting quite weak, but you got to remember I put it in high pass all the way, 100%. So you'll start to hear the effects of the attack more when I start to do the filter. That's what I'm saying. You got to juggle in between these things, and it's different from me every time. But here we go. Go into the high pass, and I'm going to start bringing it down towards 0. I'm not going to go all the way to 0, but here we go. We're on 70. 45. quite like it there. Quite like it there at 40 on the high pass. Yeah, again, you could try it over with the band pass as well, but it's best to try and not have any type of low end stuff in there. And then I can go back to the attack and mess around with that again and see what different sounds I get out of making it shorter and longer. Oh no, actually, sorry, I've actually done it wrong. I go into decay, and you'll see it's got number 5 there, but it's got mode. Put that into start. That's when the attack starts acting different. So we've totally cut off the sound. That's the sound that we get. So that's I've shown you one method there, but this is another method. Okay. So yeah, again, can't really hear the sound. You hear a little fade in there, but we're going to push up the attack. And that's around 15. So it always works from around 1 to 15 because obviously snares are quite short. If you have a longer snare, you could try that, but then there's no point in really reverbing your snare out. But that's my snare trick. Now, if you want to take it a stage further, you can always go back to your original snare. So you got this, and that's actually the background sound. It sounds nothing like a snare, but when the two are played over the top of each other, obviously you get a nice kind of old school boom bappy style. But you got that snare there, you can pull that over to the high pass also, but just give it a very low number like 10, and then work your way backwards through there. So you can play the tune, and I'm going to go up in the high pass very slowly, and just try and match the two snares. Yeah, and I've put it up to about 18, because above that I'm starting to lose too much bass on the snare, but I don't want too much bass on the snare. But that's how you get it, man.